Man, y'all know what it is, the real true tell all praise to God for everything. I mean, every single thing. How y'all doing this morning, this afternoon? Talk to the boss. You know I'm going to listen. But look, let's get straight into the video, man. I'm going to talk to y'all today about how I went from a 0 credit score to a 715. And I'm going to give y'all some stories, some true facts. And so, look, take out your notepads, take out your pens, take out your phones, your iPads, your tablets. Take out all that stuff because I want to make sure I get this information to y'all. And hopefully, this story inspire you all to do the same things I'm doing. And I'm 28. I'm fairly young. So I want y'all to do the same things and move in the same way I'm moving. But most importantly, have to keep God first. So listen, man, y'all know me. I do not like credit. I don't like debt. I don't like none of that stuff, man. I despise all that stuff. I don't like having stuff lingering on my head. Thank the Lord, my grandmother let me live with her while I was in school, so I don't have no debt from college, no loans, nothing. I put myself through school. Thank God. Thank to the guidance of my uncles. Thanks to the guidance of my family. And most importantly, thanks to the guidance of God, man. Thanks God. Thank you, God, for ordering my steps. Thanks God for everything. Just guiding me in the right way. Thank God for all that stuff. Man. All praise and honor and glory go to Him. So y'all know me, man. I don't like I just said, I don't like credit, I don't like debt, I don't like none of that stuff. So the reason why I got a secure credit card because what we're building AGP, the company, me, my uncle, my little cousin, and my sister, we all formed together when we invested, real estate, we invest in the stock market, we invest in many things. So the goal for me was to get a house, all of us to get a house and rent the house out because I believe in if you have a house, you should be making money from your house by having tenants live in your house. You shouldn't just buy a house just to live in it. If you do buy a house to live in it, make sure you can afford it. Make sure anything that breaks because you don't want to be house poor. So people are against renting, but I'm not against renting because that's one of the main things. If something break, maintenance will come and fix it. So I just feel like at the end of the day, when you got your properties, when you got properties, you make sure you get tenants. And also, what I'm going to do, I'm gonna say next year, if not next year, couple years down the line, I'm gonna get a duplex. I'm gonna live in one section, and I'm gonna have two tenants. So make money off of that. Then I'm gonna have once I pay that off, take a loan from the bank, this, that, and the third. Then I'm gonna go give me another duplex. Then I'm gonna keep on, doing the same method. Buy distressed property, meaning property that's like messed up. You put a little money into it, then you could sell it and do house flips, etc., etc. So that's the main thing. So that's why I got this credit card. So when I applied for a secure credit card, they was like, get two, so your credit could, help and build up. So I'm like, nah, I'm just get one because I don't want to have that. I don't want to have that stress and got to use two credit cards when I could just use one. So I'm like, nah, I ain't gonna do that. So my credit score was like a 500, so I'm doing pretty good. I'm just using it for gas, small purchase, but gas mainly. Just using it for gas, just going up. So I get to like a zero. So I went from zero credit score to like a 580. Then I had called my cousin because one of my other uncle was gonna let me be an unauthorized user on his account. I'm like, nah. So it just what happened. No, we had called my cousin first. We had called her first because she, a big move in Shaker. Shout out to her. I ain't gonna say her name, but she let me be an unauthorized user on her account. Then the next thing you know, my credit score went all the way up to like a 670. It was just shot all the way up. So I'm like, whoa. So, I'm doing that. So everything just working out with that. Next thing you know, I go to TJ Maxx one day and I apply for a credit card. Y'all know I'm very frugal. I'm very tight. I'm very tight. So I apply for, my items are already cheap. Then I apply for a credit card. They were like, 10% off. I'm like, cool, get that. So I go to my card. I just that dawned on me because sometimes when they talk, they try to get you. So it dawned, I'm like, why am I doing it? The clothes are already cheap. So I go cancel it. Next thing I go cancel the account that I had with TJ Maxx. I call the people, cancel the account. Next thing you know, I get a bill. I mean, I look at my credit score, and I advise you all to look at your accounts every day. Your credit card account, your debit card account, just your accounts. Because a lot of fraud going on. Not saying no fraud happened with that, but just for future reference, just to make sure y'all up on y'all, finances, just making sure you look at all that stuff all the time. So it dropped. I'm like, what the heck? It went from I said like a 670 to like a 660. So it dropped. I'm like, oh man. So I'm like, it's all good. So I told my uncle, let them know what the family's going on because we always have a family meeting. We believe in just talking about everything and just making sure we just up on our finances, just God, relationships, health, fitness, etc. So I'm like, all right, cool. Came home, told him, like, all right, cool, we're gonna work on it. So I worked on it, got myself back up, I'm getting myself back up. So I get all the way up to like a six. I'm beyond, I got like a 692. I'm at like a 692. Reality hit again. I'm like, oh my goodness. So I get an email from Wells Fargo saying one of your accounts been sent to collections. I'm like, what? They were like, you have a $25 bill that was sent to collections. that I didn't pay for. I'm like, what? And I'm like, I'm always up on my payments. I do not play about my bills. Like I told y'all, I detest credit. I despise credit. I despise not credit, but this debt. I don't like owing anybody anything. I don't like owing anybody nothing. So Wells Fargo, I'm like, I don't even have a Wells Fargo, but it's got to be wrong. So I called Wells Fargo. They were saying that yeah, they were saying basically I don't have an account with them, all this other stuff. So I'm like, hold up. I'm like, okay, cool, I'm good. Then it dawned on me, my cousin let me be an unauthorized user on her account. So I'm like, oh man. So I called her just to make sure her credit wasn't affected. So she was good. She told me to call them, basically call collections, the people at collections, customer service, or what have you. So I called them. They were like, basically, they're gonna look at it. They're gonna basically see if we can fight it. We can get it, taken off my account, all this other stuff. So I'm like, all right, cool. So I went ahead and just paid it. I'm like, man, I don't want nothing on my account. So I paid it. It was like a hard inquiry, like basically hard inquiry, basically things that could bring your credit score down. It can even affect your credit if you don't pay it, and it can also, and it's gonna keep on bringing your credit score down as long as you have that hard inquiry on it, and it could take a long time getting off of it. So I was like, oh man. So I paid it off. So they called me like a week later. They called me like within a week. And they were like, they left a voicemail basically saying, they waived it. Don't worry about paying it. But me, I'm already paid it because I was just like, oh man, I don't want this credit. I don't want this stuff on my account. I don't want it because it brought my credit score down from a 692 all the way down to like a 650. I was sick. And mind you too, my utilization, you're supposed to keep your utilization 30% or below. You're not supposed to go above that. They say 30% or below. So utilization mean how many times you swipe your card, this, that, and the third. So I'm using my card. I'm not using it for gas no more. I'm using it for gas. Other small perk. I'm going to Target. I'm going to all this stuff. So it's just boom, boom. So I'm looking at my account. I'm like, why am I? I'm like, I'm paying my bills on time. Why I'm paying my bill? I'm paying the minimum $25 a month. I'm like, why my bill? Why my account? Why my credit score keep dropping? So that happens. I'm like, all right, cool. Let me get back on the ball. So I stopped using my credit card. Like I went cold turkey, stopped using it, using my cash. I'm like, I just stopped using it. So, time goes on. I get that paid off, it's getting back up. So I went from 650 to 670, 670, 680, 680 to 690. So it's getting back up. So it got 690 for a while. So it went from 50% utilization to 8%. I just stopped using it. Then I stopped using it again for just gas. I only use it for gas only. And I also I encourage you all too, when you have a credit card, make sure you pay your bills on time. That's a key factor in basically getting your credit score increase. That's a key factor. Make sure you paying your bills on time. If you feel like you can't manage your payments, do auto pay. But what I do auto pay, but also I pay my bill beforehand. I probably pay like a week or 2 weeks beforehand, just so I could just have no bills. I could just have my money. I just don't like no bills. I just don't like it's just something about that. I do not like it, man. I'm being honest. I just don't like it. I'm not with it. So I just make sure I pay all my bills on time. Like I'm gonna pay my credit card bill today, like $40. I just use it for gas only. And also in the process, I skipped a couple steps. I went from a 300 to a 500. Also, for credit limit, 300 limit to a 500 limit. So I paid what's the name? I get my credit score, got that, got that back up. So I told you I'm in a 690, and then I went from a 690. Then I looked at my account like 2 days ago, and it was like at 715. And my goal was just to get to a 700. Now I'm at a 715. Now I'm gonna get to 750, eventually 800. So I'm like, listen, man, I just shared this story with you all because I want to encourage you all to make sure, man, if you do have a credit card, you pay your bills on time. Use it for small purchases, specifically gas. If you have a car, just use it for gas, because I don't want you to get in the habit of swiping your card, the utilization, rate fee, and just keep going up. So take my story as an example that you can basically, use the same method I'm doing. You could do the same thing in order to increase your credit score in a short period of time. It didn't take me that long. It took me like 6-7 months. I only had my credit card for a little bit of time. It's not long at all. So you got to make sure that you monitor your credit. Make sure you look at everything. Make sure you're looking at your accounts, making sure you're on point with everything, and just make sure, man. Make sure that you just responsible, I should say. It's all about your mindset, being responsible with everything you do. And also, when you're applying for a mortgage, that credit score is very, very, very critical, man. Looking at all that stuff. So they have a thing called annual credit report. You could do one a year, and you can either choose. I think it's Credit Karma, a couple, like 3 credit bureaus you could choose from. I ain't mean to say Credit Karma, but I meant it's 3 credit bureaus you can choose from. And once you do that, you can do that. They look at everything you owe, and it's very critical when you're applying for a mortgage to buy a house. You do all this other stuff, woo woo, and the better your credit score is, the lower your rate is for to down payment the house is going to be. So that's very critical, man. If you buy a house, make sure your credit is on point. Make sure you're doing everything in the sense of making sure you protecting your credit. Make sure you're doing everything for your credit, because when the time to buy that house or whatever you want to do is very, very important. Pay your bills on time and keep your utilization under 30% or at 30%. Don't go behind, don't go beyond that. Make sure you're paying. I think they say you can go to 35% or something like that, but 30% just to be safe than sorry. If you don't got to use your credit card, don't use it. If you got the cash for it, buy it. If you got to use credit, you can't afford it. You know what I'm saying? So use credit when that bill come, pay it off. So that's just my story I want to share with you all. Y'all know what it is, man. A real two-tat. I hope I can inspire you all. I'm 28 years old, and I just want to put my real life out there, because at the end of the day, every day ain't sunny. Every day ain't beautiful. I go through stuff just like everybody else. A lot of people, okay, you're always happy. Yeah, I got peace. I like peace. So at the end of the day, I do things that bring me peace. And that's what I want you all to understand. When it comes down to your life, when it comes down to just your relationship with God, everything relies on you. So just make sure, man, you protecting your credit at all times. The real